Day 4. Well, I'm currently in the office editing day 4, which was all streamers all day on the Rio Corcovado. And before we dive into the fishing action, I wanted to kind of break down some of the flies that I fished during the day. It was a very difficult day to video. It was supremely windy, and it was a very tight, fast river with not a lot of wade fishing opportunities. We were throwing streamers from the boat. But I fished a bunch of different streamers, and I want to talk about some of the pros and cons of certain types of streamers, and this information will be helpful for wherever you fish, not exclusively for the river where I was at. And I'm going to go in no particular order, but I think that the fly that was probably the best overall as far as turning fish was a black sculpzilla, and it just seemed like the really sleek, small, streamlined black streamers, just jet black, were the most productive. And I only had a couple of these. Of course, I hung them in the willows and snagged up, but that black sculpzilla just had a very sleek profile. And combined with the hook on this and how sleek and slim it was in the water, it just seemed to get bit the most. But I was also able to get more fish landed, it seemed like. The other fly that I was able to really hook some tremendous fish on was this mini llama. And it's a beadhead mini dolly llama. And that one was really, really effective, but it didn't sink quite fast enough for a lot of the real tight spots I was in. So I liked it in the more open water when I had time to get it down with a sink tip. But that beadhead dolly llama was also good, but it didn't fish quite as well because it just didn't get down instantaneously like that sculpzilla. Now, we were catching a lot of small fish, and at one point I wanted to tie a large streamer on and look for large fish, and our guide, Jermonimo Canton, said he had this great quote, and it was that elephants eat peanuts, okay? And the meaning, even the biggest critters on the planet still like small snacks. He's a really big fan of smaller streamers, and I do have to admit the smaller streamers definitely got more action. I hooked my biggest fish on that really tiny mini beadhead dolly llama. But I did run a Gallup's Dungeon quite a bit in pursuit of larger fish, and I like throwing big streamers. It's exciting. I love the anticipation of that, you know, when you're throwing those really giant articulated flies. And I'm sure over the long term it would have worked, but the guide called it. He just said that they're not going to respond to that nearly as well. And there's some advantages to smaller streamers and just the way they cast and perform. You're able to handle the line a little faster and shoot them in. And I didn't have too much of an issue punching this big guy back into the tight pockets, but you don't always have to have the biggest streamer in your box in order to turn larger fish. Just remember that quote, elephants eat peanuts. The fly that I also had really good success on that I would say overall, if you haven't fished this yet, you should start, and that is, it's called the Sir Sticks-a-Lot streamer by Rio, and I am a huge fan of that. I really like the big hook gape, but it's a short shank hook, so they tend to stay on really well, and it rolls over and does a really nice job because of that jig head style hook of riding hook up, so I was able to strip that right over the weeds and not pick up a lot of junk. And I just wish that they had that in a jet black, but I did do well on it even in the olive. One fly I was surprised I didn't do nearly as well on that I've always done well on back home, and we jokingly had a competition at one point, and it's probably because it's a little bit bigger as far as the profile than the sculpzilla, but we jokingly had a competition between the dolly llama and the sculpzilla, and the sculpzilla was undoubtedly getting more grabs and more fish, and I think part of that's because even this larger sculpzilla that I showed you right off the bat, it gets really skinny in the water, and although it has a big cone on it, it really slims down nice and actually has a pretty small appearance. It's got a big cone, but the body really slims up nicely and becomes a very small fly. So those are some of the streamers I had success on. Hopefully some of this is helpful for your next streamer trip. Go ahead and keep watching. Jump into the video. It was a little tough to edit due to the big wind and the tight water, but there's some great fishing action on this day 4. Okay, it's the beginning of day 4. Welcome. We had a long drive over to the Corcovado River today, and we've got the raft frame. It's kind of cool. So they just run the raft frame on top of this lumber rack, or well, it's not a lumber rack, it's a raft frame rack. Just because the roads are so rough and we want to drive they want to go fast, so they don't use trailers, and then we just put the raft together really efficiently right here. So it's day 4. Corcovado looks really cool. We saw a bit of it downstream, and there were some rapids and things, but here's where we're gonna launch, right here. And we're gonna put the raft together real quick and throw the boat in, and get moving, hopefully catch some trout today. All right, so we're gearing up. I'm gonna fish a streamer with a sink tip line. I think I've got this like, it's an SA line. It's like a Sonar Trout Express, I think. Anyway, I love the line, but it's pretty well worn. And what happened was I'm getting a hinge that you could see where the welded loop meets the main line. There's a split. Now it's still plenty strong because it's got a braided core, but when you get that split around that welded loop, it has a tendency to hinge a little bit on the cast, especially with heavy stuff. And I want to tell you, it's how important it is to be a fairly decent knot crafter. And you can do 1 of 2 connections. So I'm going to get rid of that loop, and I'm just going to go with a straight connection between my sink tip and my leader. And my preferred knot is an Albright knot, and you're gonna have to go watch like one of those videos where they have the cool multicolored lines of the macros and stuff. But being able to have the knowledge to be able to tie this leader straight on there, and that's the best casting system, is you get rid of that loop-to-loop connection. And I'm gonna tie this Albright knot, and I'm gonna reconnect that leader directly to that sink tip with no loops. And it's a very fine knot, and it slides through the water really well, and it casts really well. And I'll spare you the painful details on this video, but you want to carry a nail knot tool if you're not familiar with the Albright. And I'll just cinch that up. That is a very, very nice, clean, super strong connection. So if you see that your welded loop, and I always have these pliers, these Dr. Slick prism clamps. Everything I do, I'm using that. And now I've got like that nice, real nice, neat Albright knot, and it's super slick, and it's gonna turn over. I'm probably gonna be throwing pretty good sized streamers, so it'll turn over hard. But yeah, check your welded loops, especially if you're having bad leader turnover. You might have a broken welded loop. That happens after you've used the line. I don't know, I've got 40, 50, 60 days on this line. Those welded loops eventually might crack at that point. All right, we're just about to shove off here. Josh, what are you fishing?
I'm fishing a 6-weight with a sink tip and a streamer.
Gotcha, so you get your hatch reel, Sage X 6-weight, and I don't know what sink tip that is. And then you get a little black and purple.
This is a 6-weight sink tip.
Yeah, little black and purple streamer.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna fish
yesterday.
The black and purple did.
Yeah, worked well yesterday. Come around right at the end of the day.
I'm gonna, yeah, I think the smaller, that's one thing. I'm gonna fish a JJ Bugger just because I like fishing something I can see. But I think that is one thing that is kind of surprising, is bigger is not always better. In Patagonia, I found that the small streamers outfish the big streamers quite a bit, because that thing's just a dinker, man. That's a small fly.
They caught my best fish yesterday with that.
Yeah, mine is bigger. See that? I got you by an inch. I got you by an inch, Josh.
At least. Not the first time I heard that.
All right, we're about to shove off. Here goes the boat. I've learned being around other guides' boats just to stay the hell out of the way. It's the best. It's the best thing. When you try, you think you're being helpful, you're really not. Just stay out of the way and let them do their thing.
Well, actually, the action I tend to make it with my rod tip, and I basically with my stripping, what I'm doing is I'm picking up the slack.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah.
That was awesome, man.
As you were saying.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, okay, that didn't take long. We're still within sight of the truck. That's sweet, man. Yeah, was that it ate it on the swing?
Exactly.
So yeah, what we're talking about is when the boat's moving, we want to be bringing it down at him, but as soon as that line gets below, you stop stripping and bring it up. You got a little brownie on there. Oh, sweet. Dude, that little streamer is doing way better. Yeah, Josh has another one. I haven't got a sniff, man. I've been on this yellow JJ, nothing but that black streamer's picking them up.
El tapado.
El tapado?
Yeah, that's what we call in Argentina when somebody plays that he doesn't know what he's doing and he ends up knowing what he's doing.
So he's pretending he doesn't know.
Yeah.
He's hustling us.
Exactly.
A t-shirt that says that?
El tapado.
El tapado.
We're gonna make one for you.
Oh man, nice job, Josh.
El Tapado?
El tapado. That's cracking me up. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right, we're only like 5 minutes into the day. We're already having a lot of fun. The 2-footer. We're in pursuit of the 2-footer today. I'm sticking with old Yeller. If you get 4 more fish before I get one, then I will change to your fly. But I'm gonna stick. There's one. Just a little guy. Yeah, there's another one.
Another small one.
Yeah. I mean, that little fly is just a huge difference. A lot of fish right there. Holy shit. Oh my God. Damn, dude, that was a big ass fish. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. That was nuts. There was like, I don't know, every cast. There was like fish chasing, fish chasing, fish chasing. None of them all that big. And then I just kind of flopped it back in there on the edge of this weed bed. And like, I don't know, 22-inch brown trout just annihilated that little streamer. Josh caught like 5 fish, okay? And we learned a new term, el tabido.
El tapado.
El tapado. Yeah, my Spanish is horrific. I apologize to all Spanish-speaking viewers. He caught a bunch of fish. Oh my, I don't streamer fish much, blah, blah, blah. Catches like 5 fish. I finally switched to a fly similar to what he's using, and it was like every cast for like, I don't know, several casts there. So anyway, the fish didn't break off. It just started cartwheeling downstream and through the hook. It's a pretty small hook. So I guess the big trout will eat the small streamer. So we know what we were just talking about that. Yeah, Hero says they will. Apparently they will. All right. Yeah, this looks like a shit show waiting to happen with my rod.
Keep pointing forward.
We gonna fish right when we come through this gap?
Yep.
Okay. So point my rod right through the hole right there. I made it. Now this is usually when I snag my back cast in the tree.
All right, go. Right. Your left side is open to your cast.
Oh, this looks good. There's a fish, little guy, little rainbow. That was sweet. Right after I got stuck a couple of lucky fish on the black Sculpzilla. Gosh, that thing swims. It's a great streamer. Josh is running a dolly, and so Jermonimo proposed that it's a 1-fly competition. It's like a throwdown. What's the throwdown?
Well, the beer, the road beer.
The road beer? What are you talking about, the road beer?
That's the prize of the contest.
Oh, that's the prize of the contest. Okay, so we're talking about the purse. And then the flies are what?
Flies are what? No, sorry, I don't understand the
It's
question.
the Dalai Lama.
Ah, the Dalai Lama and the Sculpzilla, black Sculpzilla.
Yeah. So Sculpzilla versus Dalai Lama. The prize is the 1 beer we have left, and that's a road beer. So the stakes are high. I don't know if the stakes have ever been higher in a fishing competition I've been a part of. What about you, Josh?
First time, highest stakes ever. There's 1 beer left.
No more wine.
It is a valuable beer.
No more wine, 1 beer left. It is a high stakes competition. I got to get to work. Oh, Josh is already getting bites. I'm dinking around with the video camera. All right, I got to get going. Friggin' threw my fly back and tangled it around my rod. That was a hell of a fish. I saw that fish coming. I could tell that was going to be a great spot. Throw 1 more way back up there. Come on. Give me another chance. God, these fish are just blowing up, jumping once and coming unpinned. Oh man, it's windy as hell. Man, I'm out of those black Sculpzillas. Yeah, I got all these streamers here. I think I'm out of the black Sculp. I think I'll run olive. Man, it's so windy I can't even keep my fly box steady. Okay, I'm switching to an olive Sculpzilla. We'll try green and see if we can have equal results as we did black. So anyway, normally I fish olive. Olive is typically my my favorite one. So, all right, giving olive a shot. Lost my black one. God, that's freaking. Coming up. I'm going to the right. One more cast. I'm down.
Go for the left, Josh.
Eric's dad was coming down here.
Oh my God, did you see that? Did you see that brown?
Right at the end.
Holy crap.
Oh,
Shit.
Fuck, that was insane, dude. Dude, that fish was in that heavy water and came all the way to the surface. I mean, he tried to eat it twice. I don't know how I didn't hook it. I mean, I left it in there. I never felt it. That was crazy. All right, I'm back on the black Sculpzilla. Just a straight black streamer. My hopper dropper idea didn't work very well. Nice fish. Got him. Got him. Nice brown. Yep. Got him. Oh, that's a good one. Look at that. Oh man, I got some slack to take in. Yeah, that's good fish. Finally, got a good one.
Okay, let me get down there to the.
Look at that. Look at that brown. Take that all day long. What a beautiful fish. All right, we're just gonna let him swim right here. You gonna follow him underwater?
Right.
Yeah, go ahead, and you can follow him right underwater. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really, really fun, man. Actually seeing the fish, like, the thing just chased it right across the surface and hammered it. And I'm sure you can see on the video, but this water is so clear. It's so cool being in this clear water and being able to see the fish chase like that. I mean, that's pretty fun. And it's just a wild adventure. I know there are a lot of places on Earth that you can catch trout, but just the further south you get, there's just he's laughing. There's just something cool about it. So yeah, I switched to this black Sculpzilla. And I know that's not like a new and ingenious pattern, but I had been dead drifting a smaller black bugger, not much smaller than this, under a dry fly, and to very little success on that. And as soon as I threw that big black Sculpzilla, much better action. So yeah, we'll just hopefully we can get Josh into a couple of these and find some more fish as we go. That was absolutely awesome. We are fishing hard. I managed to lose both of the really good fish that I've hooked, so I'm kind of sucking in that regard. Josh has been picking up a lot more fish. Nothing real big yet, but I decided for a big fish we need to use a big fly, so I'm going to use one of Gallup's bugs here. And I can't remember if this is the Dungeon, the Sex Dungeon, the Circus Peanut, or what the hell crazy name he named this one particular bottle. But yeah, I'm gonna go big. We can fish a double hook on this river, so I'm gonna go with the big fly until my either my arm falls off or I get a big fish. So yeah, we're gonna start throwing this and giving it a lot of like kind of jerk strips and really mad action. And most of the fish have been in pretty shallow water. We haven't been able to move anything out of the deep. But maybe that'll change. I think maybe in the deeper water, maybe a bigger fly will actually get him to kind of come up out of the abyss, because there are just some huge drops underneath these willows. I mean, there's a massive amount of river space down there. So hopefully we can get him going on this giant ass, big, heavy, articulated bug. And this is about the minimum amount of rod. I've got a 690 1 R8, and I would say that this is more of like a 7-weight fly after having cast it a few times here. So 7-weight would probably be a good idea. So anyway, we're gonna go big and see what happens. Casting this fly, it's really hard to change directions. So you just want to make sure, like, as I throw my next cast and I'm gonna split that brush, I'll load it on the water right there and then go back the same direction. Those big flies don't cast half bad. When you set the angle, it's when you try to change directions that things get really, really messy. So again, I'm just gonna slap it on the line I wanna go and then shoot my next one and shoot some line in a little bit further. That's the fastest, most accurate way I've found to cast this big, heavy, articulated stuff. So I'm gonna lay one more up and then I'm just gonna launch it on the same angle right there. Strip and hop, giving it that big action with a little pause between strips. And I don't fish a ton of the articulated streamers. You know, they're generally not my first choice because I just don't enjoy the way they cast that much, but it's usually right there on that pause when they eat that. There's just a little moment of hesitation, just a little weakness. A little weakness, a moment of weakness in that prey. I'm gonna throw one more. We're gonna go all the way in there. Long cast. And then once it starts into the swing, I'm just gonna tip jig. Just pop, 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 pop. I don't wanna strip. I don't wanna swim that thing against current. We're looking for Mr. Big.
What about there, Jay?
That was cool. Shit. Uh-oh. It's kind of wild. Look at this spot. This river makes a full U-turn right here. Here, I'll take that net. Nice on that mini llama again. Good. That was sweet. That was a lot of fun. For 1 minute. We have solved most of the world's problems here in the last few minutes over some wine. And now we're having some like a pork shank, like, I don't know, pork, actually that's pork loin there. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, having a nice lunch with the boys. I just want to give you a quick update. I have not showed the lunch even one single day. And yesterday I was like, why didn't I show the lunch? Like, it's interesting. So smashed some charcuterie, smashed a couple of Patagonia amber lagers. That's good. And then we have a little wine with lunch. So yeah, you can't take, like, you can fish hard, but it doesn't mean you can't take lunch very serious. Like, we can take lunch very serious and still fish hard. So that's kind of where we're at in the day. We moved some really nice fish this morning, lots of small ones. We're gonna try some different stuff. We're gonna go hopper dropper in the afternoon. Because the river is so swift along the willows, it's like, it's very tight and technical fishing, and I hope you can see that on the video. But like, you smash that streamer in and then you strip it out, and if the fish is like really aggressive, it'll chase. But part of me kind of wants to hover that streamer in there, like deep in those willow pockets a little longer. So I'm gonna use a big giant beetle pattern, just a black and peacock chubby Chernobyl, just to hang. And then I'm gonna put underneath that, I'm gonna put like a Euro jig minnow, and then that jig minnow with the jig head hook should hang pretty level. But then I can actually hold that back in the willows. It's pretty technical. It's like super fast. It's like you have to put that fly like on the spot. and then hold it there, and then you get just a few seconds because some of these spots where these brown trout are living are damn tight. So that's what we're gonna try in the afternoon. We may go back to pitching giant streamers. The big articulated stuff, I fished for an hour, didn't get any follows. I probably, if I really wanted to, you know, next level size trout, I would stick with that. But I'd like to just catch a few trout. So we're gonna stick to that, and I'm gonna throw that jig minnow because they were absolutely pounding that little mini llama on the sink tip. But I don't know, part of the fun of fly fishing is just trying different stuff. So anyway, we're gonna try hovering that way back in the willows. We're gonna eat this wonderful lunch, have a little wine, solve a few more of the world's problems, and then get back at it. Nice, there we go. Nice. Right from under the trees. Nice. Alright, there's our brown trout. We got it on that Sir Sticks-a-Lot streamer. And that thing was just buried under the trees. I mean, just way under. I actually thought I was snagged on a tree for a second. I'm not gonna lie, it was way up under the brush. And that's the first one I've been able to land. I lost a few flies. Our little Sculpzilla competition died. And then I put on, I don't know, it's what's probably become my favorite streamer, and that Sir Sticks-a-Lot. Oh, nice. Solid brown. Again on that Sir Sticks-a-Lot. Okay, we've got a little portage. The main channel goes through there, which is totally blocked. So we're gonna push the raft. It's kind of a weird spot. We gotta push the raft over these willow roots. And so we're gonna push it across this series of willow roots into this little channel over here. Okay, so we got it into this channel, and yeah, we're floating again. So yeah, just a little portage. Thank you. Got my olive Sculpzilla. I'm officially disqualified from the competition because I lost my black Sculpzilla in about 2 minutes into the competition. So therefore I'm an automatic forfeit, apparently, according to the bylaws. So anyway, we'll see if the olive gets the same results the black did. Looks like they're ready to load the bus. I better shut my camera off and get back in and get back to fishing. Okay, here we go. Shooting through the trees. Okay, so I'm gonna shake some slack line out. Hard roll cast. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Jig, 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 jig. This is like commando style fishing. Mend it back in. Get a few more strips. Yeah, this is nuts.
Thought this, but I ended up creating like a Vietnamese trap.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no kidding. You don't want to fall on those.
No, I gotta cut it back.
Usually right when we come out of the willows in this open water, there's fish. You go run 30 or 40 miles.
Program, right? You thinking of trail running?
Whoa.
Ultra marathon.
Dude, that was the next cast in. Dude, that, I don't know why, but that Sculpzilla, let me see that net. Give me that net, Jermonimo. We'll just net him while we float. That Sculpzilla, that was the first cast in after that fish. That's a nice brown, like, I don't know, 14 inch. How many centimeters is that?
14 inches is about 35 centimeters.
35 centimeter brown trout. All right. Oh man, I didn't get the hook up on video, but that fish just chased it and swiped at it, and I just stopped. All right. And then just kept stripping through it. That was great. That's why it's so important to have like a strip set, you know? Like not lift the rod tip out. I just saw a nice fish go spooking out right there. Meaning take care of your gear brings on a whole new meaning. Just even the wind wants to blow your line into the brush. This is so cool. So feed it slack. Attempt to roll cast, fail. Oh, dude. God, he just came off while he jumped. But man, that fish ate the fly the second it hit the water. Like I had to be super tight on that thing. Because man, that fly, now I'm a mess. I'm so excited. Yeah, the second that fly hit the water, that's a rainbow. Oh, dang. That's first, like real nice rainbow. Oh my gosh, the wind is blowing like 40 miles an hour. Holy crap. The wind is nuts. I got him. Beautiful, got him. Nice rainbow. Kind of tough filming those in the boat, but oh, he's already unhooked. Just gonna let him swim out right here. All right, that was sweet. Now we're going down some rapids. So I've been told I need to put my seatbelt on. Okay, I gotta put my seatbelt on. I'll get him. Yeah, that one was right in the white water. All right. Yeah, that fish was right in the white water back there. Fly got a little fouled up. You got one, Josh? Yeah, there's a ton of fish in this rapid. Look at these caddis. Dude, there's gonna be stacked below this rapid, Josh. Right here. There's one. Oh, that was a good fish. Damn. Good job. That wind makes it tough to get the line.
Yeah.
Holy crap.